Dreaming of your next beach getaway? Contact me today. Shore excursions, and when you go for the Royal Caribbean specifically, not a third party. So shore excursions is with me, with all your adventure dream vacations, and the Royal Caribbean one is with the cruise company itself. Of course, I'm gonna tell you should book with shore excursions.
Yeah.
You have a 100% guarantee that you're gonna get back to the ship. Not only that, but like say for whatever reason something happens in an excursion,
right,
and you don't make it back to the ship. Not only do they make sure that you get back to the ship on whatever the next day is they make port, but they give you a lot of money as compensation. They give you a hotel room, they give you like a voucher. So it's a big deal.
Right. Because you have to be, I mean, just like, I wrote it down, but I was like, just don't be a dick, right? If you know the ship is supposed to leave at 5, don't come running off the gangway at like 4:45 p.m. I mean, get back to the ship. Like, make plans. Yeah. Hey, maybe get back at 4. Maybe get back at 3. I don't know. But the excursions piece is great because, yes, there are a lot of options for excursions, and some of them are really, really fun. But the ones that are through Royal Caribbean, or like you said, like Talia Adventure, like making it through you guys. Shore excursions. That's the great part about it, is if there is some odd delay, like maybe it's something to where you have to take a vehicle somewhere and then the vehicle gets a flat, and then, oh no, like you guys can't make it back in time.
No, it'll help you out. Yeah.
It will. Yes, absolutely. So I think that's one of the great things about making sure to go through like the actual like cruise line or Talia Adventure or something like that, because it's just, you have that peace of mind knowing that you're not going to be abandoned, so to speak.
No, and that's really big because a lot of people do feel that. Okay, well, they make it back and they don't make it back in time, and they're like, wow, that's unfortunate.
Yeah. So you don't want to be that person. Right.
Yep.
Okay, so
so expert tips.
Yes,
so some expert tips that you have. I know for me, like, I'm a very light packer.
Yes.
I only pack a pretty small suitcase and maybe some toiletries and stuff.
Right.
I will say something that I learned on this last cruise is like maybe pack some conditioner for whatever reason. They seem to have more shampoo than conditioner on cruises.
Sure.
For what that's worth. So
there you go. First and foremost, type of room. What type of room do you book? Now, I've had all different types of rooms. I've had interior rooms. I've had ocean view rooms, which is the porthole. I've had balcony rooms, like all these different ones, right? I've had a grand old time in any of them. Am I a little spoiled now having a balcony room? Absolutely. Could I go back to an interior room? Sure. But it's going to be hard for me. I think that's also just because of the experiences I've had, as well as age now. You know, I enjoy the quiet and maybe enjoy waking up in the morning, having a cup of coffee on the balcony, just, you know, very peaceful.
Agreed.
But when I was younger, or we had lots of things planned, like, interior rooms were perfect because you are there to sleep and to change, essentially. Right. So, yeah, maybe some people have the claustrophobia about, like, the interior rooms or things like that. I get that. But other than that, if it's not necessarily something that can hinder you, you can save a lot of money by doing an interior room, and I think they're absolutely fine. Like I said, it's just, you're sleeping and you're getting ready and then you're out the door. You're not really spending time in your room.
Yeah.
So why do you need a super fancy room?
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
And I have some pictures of the interior rooms that I'll share here.
Yes. Nice thing too, interior room, super dark when you sleep. That's always a plus, right? Mm-hmm. So that was bags. You know, your checked baggage, things like that. You have to check your baggage. Sometimes people don't realize this when they check in to get on the boat, is they'll take your bags to deliver them to your stateroom, and that tends to take some time because there's many people on board. So whatever you need, medications, just certain things like that, make sure you keep it on you, very similar to when you fly places. But maybe pack just like a little beach bag or something. Put a bathing suit or put a change of clothes or a hat or your sunglasses or whatever in there. That way, while you are waiting to get into your stateroom with the rest of your checked luggage and all these things, maybe you can hang out by the pool. Maybe you can go to the casino. Maybe you can, I don't know, explore the ship. But make sure you have, you know, like your proper footwear or your medications that you need, or just little things like that. So just keep a small bag with you with some essential items.
I'll also say that one of the things that I didn't realize until I got to the cruise or had an email was that they're going to ask you to print out a luggage tag. And
Yes.
I did notice that some people, and this next time, I'm going to actually buy a luggage tag.
Yes.
A little plastic luggage tag. But they want you to specifically print this luggage tag. And there is
Yes.
absolutely zero way that you can get this luggage tag any other way besides standing in line before the cruise or printing it out before the cruise. Your own luggage tag that you have that says like your address and all that, not good enough. This is not going to work. This is a very specific luggage tag.
Like a boarding pass, but for your suitcase.
For your suitcase, for the cruise.
Yes.
So make sure you don't neglect those emails that say that. Make sure you print them. Don't pretend that your random one's going to work, or you're gonna not. You're not going to be happy that day when you get there.
Another big tip, me personally, I like to do is buy some sort of lanyard. You know, they used to always have the sea passes. I know sometimes now you can even just get it on your phone, like through the app, instead of having a physical
like
card.
I had to have a card.
Yes, a physical card,
Yeah.
because that's what you use to get in your room.
And you want to have it available
Yes.
so that you can scan yourself
Yes,
in and
get in
out.
off of the boat, the you know, the charges to your beverage package, all those types of things. You want to make sure you always have that on you. So for me, I thought it was really helpful to have a lanyard. Now you can have a lanyard with just the sea pass, and you'd be completely fine. But I liked the lanyard that I was able to attach my phone, because I liked having my phone on. You take pictures and all these things, and then I just had the sea pass attached to like my phone.
Yeah. Yep.
But it's absolutely worth like getting something like that, especially if it's one of those waterproof ones, because then if you get off the boat or if you do some type of water activity, you don't have to worry about your phone because you got all of the things getting wet. So there's two things also I would mention about passports. Okay, get your passport first and foremost. Just get it. If you're going on a cruise, if you're not, it's nice to have it. I didn't have one
for 10 years. Why not?
Yeah, I didn't have one for the longest time. I finally got one. I still have yet to use it to like go overseas, but I've used it on cruises and things like that. One is a lot of times some people recommend to take it with you off the boat on excursions. You don't need it. However, if for some reason something happens and you are left, then you at least have it.
Yep.
Right? And that can be very important. Because again, your sea pass is what you need for the boat. So on and off the boat, you're fine. But if the boat leaves without you, you know...
That's a country thing.
Right, that's a country thing. Right.
Now
So,
you can get the passport card for Mexico and the Caribbean, which will allow you to take that on with you and leave your passport on board. And it will allow you to get back and forth, but it's only for those parts of the country, or of the world.
yes. I also like to note about the passport thing is if you don't have a passport, there is a thing called if you don't have a passport, there is a thing called closed loop cruises. Now, double check the research on this, because this is how it was maybe a few years ago. I don't know, things could have changed. You never know. Closed loop cruises are where it leaves from the same domestic port that it comes back into. So if we leave out of Port Canaveral in Florida and then go to a few different places, come back to Port Canaveral, that's a closed loop. So that means technically you don't have to have a passport. You can bring your, I believe it's like your birth certificate and your social security or something like that as identification to get onto the board. Because I know not everybody has a passport.
Right.
However, when you get back from your vacation and your cruise and you have to kind of like check back in and go through customs, the line to that is insane. It's insane. And I just remember having my passport and just walking by everybody and it just being so much easier. So if you don't have a passport, if it's not an option, you can still cruise on these closed loop cruises. But it's worth getting it, especially if you have a lot of time to plan for your cruise. Just try to get a passport.
Yeah, and I believe it's $130.
Or the passport card, which I believe is a little bit cheaper, I think.
Yeah. So get it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Again, always do your research before you get on board, because things change quickly. For example, we used to be able to bring on not surge protectors, but maybe like an adapter where it had a couple of different ports for like electrical stuff.
Yeah.
They're very, very strict about that now. They don't let you have those types
they
of
even
things.
took my parents' extension cord, which they knew before they got on board.
I know.
So,
I know.
So,
Yeah.
just be right over there. Extension
Same
cord.
thing like handheld steamers, stuff like that.
Yep.
Those are no-nos. You know.
Like basically anything that maybe
Fire
adapting
hazard,
your power
yeah,
or like a heating element
Right.
or something like
Right.
that. Like
You gotta
just
be
don't
careful.
bring it.
Yeah. So definitely check ahead of time. Always good to do your research ahead of time. But one thing is you can bring your own wine aboard. So if you do, they don't allow you to just put it in your suitcase and then you just pop it in your room. What they'll do is they'll kind of like check it for you, and then, you know, for your dinners or different things, they charge you like a corking fee, and then they hold on to it for you. But then you're able to enjoy your specialty wines, or if you have something really specific that you want to bring with you.
And usually that's about 750 milliliters, and it can be champagne or wine. You just, and it really, like Nikki was saying, depends on the specific cruise. So, like,
Yes.
Virgin will let you do 2 bottles, but you have to bring it on board. But I think Royal will only let you do 1.
Yeah, I can't remember.
So, really look it up before, make sure you understand what it means, make sure you understand, like, you may have to walk it on, things like that.
Right.
Because that's very important that they
Yes.
take it from you. And then, the other thing is, if you are on board, like when I was in Mexico, Cozumel, I got some coconut tequila, which is amazing. But the
You
minute
can't
I
bring it
got
back.
on board, they took it from me.
Yes.
They check it for me, and then the last day they gave it back to me
Yes.
to let me walk it off board. But
Definitely
there's no-
definitely check on that, because I think that's one thing people don't realize. They think, oh, okay, we're gonna go to this port and we're gonna get off and we're gonna grab all these, like, you know, different liquors or beers or whatever it might be, and then you get back on the boat. They're not gonna let,
take it
yeah,
from
they're gonna
you.
take it from you, and then you
Yeah.
get it that last day. So it, you know, just
Yep.
be prepared for that. Don't get, you know, all upset. Okay, so what's next? Okay, so I did the certificate. Okay. For your room, understand that if there is like a fridge provided, it's actually like a cooler. It's not a completely like fridge. Some people do have to request refrigerators specifically for certain, maybe like certain medications that they have to have refrigerated at a certain temperature, or like breast milk, or just different things like that. That is an option through Royal Caribbean. You can request a refrigerator. I don't think it's always guaranteed, so just be very, very
I
careful
do
with
it
that.
ahead of time, especially
Oh,
because they
absolutely.
usually tell you,
Yeah.
here's some extra things that you can request, usually about 72 hours ahead of time they ask you, and that's when you can get like extra pillows and blankets and stuff, or
Right.
ice buckets. Just ask
Yes.
for all the things that you want for that.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So just be aware that when you do go into your room, usually if you do have any kind of cooling unit in your room, it's going to act more like a cooler. So it's not going to keep things super, super chilled. So just be prepared for that.
Yep.
One big thing I think that came about a few years ago I saw online were the magnetic hooks and clips and things like that. Those things are amazing.
They are amazing. My mom got some, and it was so cool. I could hang my bathing suit right there, and it dried overnight. And I like thought, oh, I have to bring like 3 or 4 bathing suits,
Right.
Because I was like, well, I mean, they have to dry,
Right.
And
Yeah.
I just kept drying them and rotating through.
It was great. Not only the hooks, but the little, like, almost like binder clip ones that are magnetic.
Mm.
I loved those because we would put the cruise itinerary on the wall, and we'd be like, okay, we're gonna do, yeah.
Did you ask for the cruise itinerary ahead of time, and they like gave it to you?
It used to always just be automatically given to you each day, you know, when they come in to service your room and things like that. I know a lot of times with the updates in technology, a lot of times it'll just be on the TV there, so you can like turn into a specific channel and it'll just say, hey, here's the list of events for today. So I think it just depends.
Yeah.
I'm very much, I like the analog. I like having the piece of paper, the physical paper, and being able to
I do the
doodle
same
on it.
thing.
Yeah, make notes.
And,
Yeah. So there's
Do you hear that? Adventure is calling. Contact me today and let Tally Your Adventure Dream Vacations bring you on your next trip. Come on, let's go.